In today's video, we'll be looking at shaping your legacy and role modeling. What type of father would you like to emulate? Would you like to become? But before we do that, we need to take a look at our past. We need to revisit our past. I want you to remember a time where your father had made a decision and it impacted your life and your decision-making skills to this present day. Whether it be something good or bad that your father had done, think about it, reflect upon it, and you may be able to see a common link between your past and your present in terms of your decision-making skills. There's a link there. I want you to really reflect upon this, because this impacts the quality of your present choices. It's how you got parented by your father that you're more likely to make similar choices that your father made with you to your children. The next thing that I would like you to do is envision the type of father that you would like to become. What values, what behaviors would you like to embody? The types of values that you'd like to adopt in your current role as a father. So you're going to the past, you're identifying certain behaviors, and now you're looking back, you're reflecting, and you're also acknowledging now, okay, I've understood. For example, my father used to argue with my mum a lot. He used to raise his voice. He used to hit me with a wooden spoon. He used to take his stress out of me. He used to constantly disregard me, not acknowledge me as a child. He made me feel as if I was getting on his nerves. These are all actions, behaviors, and also choices. My father didn't prioritize me because he was too busy doing X, Y, Z. Have a look at those things, what your father was doing, and see if you are doing a similar thing with your child. Okay, so the next thing I would like you to think about is look at the role models around your circle of people that you know. See if you know any father figures who are doing a great job with their children. If you've heard stories online or even offline, or someone you personally know face to face, or someone that knows of a person that is doing a great job as a father, could they be potential role models to you? Could you potentially reach out to them and build a support network with them in terms of you learning from them, seeking advice to become a better father? Do you have those kind of connections around you? If you don't, then is it something that you can build yourself? And even if you don't have any inspirational role models as father figures, you can become one of them. You can start the trend. You can lead the way. Because it has to start from somewhere. And it's best it starts from you. Reason why it should start from you is because it will impact generations along the line, down the line. Because when your child has another child, your child has a child, you now become a grandfather. If you do not come correct, highly likely that your grandkids will not come correct. You've just messed up a generation and future other generations to come. So this is how important it is to really reflect and really refine your thinking, your actions, your behaviors, and also ask yourself, okay, what kind of father would I like to become? Would I like to become fitter? Would I like to become stronger? Would I like to become morally grounded, spiritually connected with my Creator, the one and only above? Would I like to develop deeper connections with my spouse and my children? Would I like to have a tough and resilient mindset? What kind of father would you like to become? Because now that you know piece of information about your past, now that you know that you're bringing your past into your current relationships by the actions, now you can refine, you can adjust. This is what I'm saying. So even if you have no role models around you, There's loads of literature out there. There's loads of videos and useful resources online. And it's all about constant education, developing, refining, growth, personal development on all levels so you can become a better father. This is how you're going to shape your legacy, by you becoming better and better and better. This is how important it is for you to get the information, implement the information. Like I've said on the previous videos, it's not just about you, it's about your whole lineage, it's about your generation. So it will pay dividends if you put the work in. And at the same time, also recognize who are negative role models in your circle of people that you know. And it could be close family, friends, connections, work colleagues, what have you. You must be careful and cautious about these types of people, because they can put seeds into your head that can create negativity into your fatherhood when it comes down to raising your children and really taking care of your family. Because if they have bad experiences, they're more likely to brainwash you and influence you and sow seeds up here. Like I've said, this is how cautious and mindful that you have to be. And also, break cycles. What do I mean by breaking cycles? Cycles of thinking the same way, patterns of behaviors, behaving the same way, communicating the same way. If it's causing a negative outcome, there's something that you need to change, either your perspectives or your procedures, your actions, your behaviors. It has to change. Something has to change, because if it doesn't, guess who's going to suffer? Not just you, your children and your spouse. Your lineage is going to suffer. Use challenges, problems that you have faced, issues that you have encountered as fuel, as motivation to help you move forwards, to make progress, because you can always tweak things and change things that has happened to you in the past in a negative way and change that into a positive. Change your outlook, your processes, your procedures. So the whole idea is in order for us to set a legacy and to become the ideal father, if there is no ideal father out there, we have to become the ideal father for our family. And that involves embracing growth, recognizing certain traits that you have and refining and becoming a lot more better, adapting and learning. And this is all to do with self-reflection. This has to be done on a constant basis. It's not an overnight thing. It's a long-term, lifelong process. The whole idea is this: if we are getting more older, we should be getting a lot more wiser and better on all levels. But why are we deteriorating as we are getting older? That shouldn't be the case. We want to become the best version of ourselves. So in order to do that, it requires taking accountability. It requires being responsible. It requires reflecting. It requires repenting. It requires for you to rejuvenate yourself in so many different levels. It is going to be hard. It's not an easy thing to do, but you need to do it. And remember, you're doing it for a greater cause. It's your legacy at the end of the day. No one's going to do the hard work for you. You have to do it. No one else. So I would like to also emphasize a few things. Trust your instincts. Learn from your mistakes. And celebrate your learnings, the things that you have learned. And listen to your intuition, the inner voice. Because when something doesn't feel quite correct, go by it. Take heed. Be cautious. Even if you don't know, or if you're unsure, something don't feel right, don't make any decisions at that time. Get the knowledge. Hold back. Allow things to unfold. This is how you can become better at judging and responding rather than reacting. And balance, and that's how you have balance in terms of intuition. And when your child sees this, you're role modeling resilience for your child. What does that mean? That means you're more calmer, that you're more thought out. You're not reacting according to your emotions. You're responding in a calm manner. And guess what that does? It builds confidence in your child. It builds confidence in your spouse. Because when you carry yourself and you conduct yourself in a calmer manner, when you're more thought out, when you're less reactionary, guess what happens? Trust increases. The quality of your relationship increases. But mind you, when you're going through this process, they will test you the most because they want to see if you're the real deal, if you're committed to your cause. And they will test you in so many different ways because they're so used to the way that you are, and they're expecting a typical, predictable reaction from you. But when you do something different, it's shocking to the system, and they're thinking that, hold on, is my dad for real? I'm going to test him. I'm going to wind him up. And your children and your spouse will do this to you on purpose to see if you are genuine or not. So be prepared for the test. This is what I'm saying to you. In saying this, take what I've said. If you have to, get pen and paper, take some notes, go through the recording again, and just put the information into action and watch your relationships change. Because if you do not do the homework, remember, it's a lifelong journey. You have to make time. There is no such thing as, I don't have enough time, I don't have time a day. No, it's, do you prioritize this or do you prioritize that? Simple, point blank. If it's really important to you, take time in educating yourself, take time to reflect.